This is a public announcement.
Play the freaking game.
You can unalive a bunch of people all at once. When?
I was gonna say, what? Because you both have Arlecchino, and I think we both are DPS. I mean, she's our main currently.
Yeah.
What? I mean, for me, I find it quite interesting to sometimes with friends just go through the same characters that we have and kind of try and see what our strongest attacks are. So what is your, like, current attack for her, like, when she crits, basically?
Bro, do I look like I know? Girl, do you know what...
Do you not look at it when you get it? You're like, oh my god, that's awesome.
No.
Oh god.
I can see when you're fighting a boss how long it takes the red bar to go down. I just judge it off of that. I'm not here, like, yes, I enjoy winning, defeating the opponents. I'm not really here to max out, although they did put that update which really helps the training guide, so it can tell you exactly where to do improvements, basically, be it weapon, artifacts. It's a new update that they did.
Where?
Yeah, on, like, the main menu. They've put it on there now. It's like a training guide, so it can tell you...
It can tell you, like, on your current character what you need to improve on.
On all characters.
No, I mean, like, not in general, but in terms of, like, the characters you have built right now, what on them.
Yeah. It tells
what?
you. Yeah, girl, it's... like, the things that new Genshin players have compared to what we have at the beginning, I know. They're making our lives a lot easier, which I am very thankful for.
I'm not going to open Genshin right now because I need it for a thing later, but...
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yes.
That's
Similar
insane.
to how they've, like... With the commissions, you have daily commissions. You can now achieve those primogems through doing other things, and doing, like, encounter points as well, which build towards your daily commissions.
So the update for that, I think, is absolutely brilliant, because used to, instead of just spending the time to go and doing the same things through just to get some
the
premiums.
same commissions
exactly.
over and over again.
You can just play and explore and get those
the
game, and it's really fun.
You can do the main quests and don't have to worry about them, and it's great.
Yeah, sometimes I do forget to go in the end to just collect my last, like, 30 primos.
You do need to do that.
But I don't particularly understand, or it hasn't reached my brain yet, how to use the long-term points. Because it said that you can kind of, like, convert them at some point into something else. Like, I think you can convert them into primos from the resin that you get.
Yes, I think you can. I haven't played in a while, so I can't tell you yet. But I will get back to you, and people will know who are more.
This is going to be very much directed to the general Genshin audience. Yes. So if you don't know, I don't think you're going to be...
No, if you don't know, please play the game. Please join us. It's multiplayer as well, so you can get your friends involved, because I love games that are co-op. Like, that's one of the pulls for me, is that if I can play with friends, then I'm good to go.
I didn't start Genshin because I could play with friends, but the people I have met through that is insane, because the last few years a lot of my friends I have met is actually through Genshin, because we have something in common that you're like, oh my god, I use them as well.
Yes.
So very, very important, I think, is to play the game.
This is a public announcement.
Play the freaking game.
Yeah, okay. The reason I got into it is because Hella literally downloaded it onto my phone and was like, you are playing. You watch the cutscenes. The cutscenes as well are very, very good. And they are making an anime for Genshin Impact. So even if you don't play it, there will be an anime coming out, and we are so gassed. I can't wait.
By the way, you're not allowed to watch it without me, Jen. Like, I don't care if it comes out on the Friday and you're like, oh, I can watch it. No. We're meeting on the Saturday and we're going. Okay? Yes. I don't care if it's meeting in the middle ground. You're not going without me, Jen. I got you into it. You must watch it with me.
I'll even go to Swindon to watch
me. Get it?
Or to the halfway house. Yes.
Another question I have. Who do you think in the game are must-have characters?
Must-have characters?
Like, who you think you're like, to an example, like, for instance, I think Zhongli's quite useful to have as a shield.
Yes.
So I'm not saying everyone has to have them, but having them just makes your whole gameplay different and easier, I think. Especially when you're a beginner, Zhongli is a must-have.
If you don't want to dodge, you can use Zhongli.
Guys, it makes a whole life difference.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with geo characters, is you basically are using them as shields. So having a geo character for that purpose is really good. And if you can get a 5-star geo character like Zhongli or like Navia, then you're winning.
Zhongli's the best. Another thing, I mean, I personally am quite... For instance, question-wise in general, what element is your element? Like, out of the, 5 or 6 that we have?
Yeah, so we have Cryo, Hydro, Electro, Pyro, Geo, Dendro. Animo, of course. I think Animo is very underrated, because I have Venti, who is obviously the Animo Archon. And they're very fun to play with. I like them, even if they are, I guess, the weakest of the Archons. But using those swirl attacks is very useful.
Same with Kazuha. Like, I always have him in my team, because without knowing... Because one thing I noticed, for instance, when I got Kazuha, I desperately wanted him. So both him and Zhongli were my must-haves since the beginning. And I didn't get Kazuha the first round, but I got him the second round when he came back. And... it's one of those things that I built him, that when he does his swirl attacks, you don't really realize how much you are attacking, because you are having all the other elements interact together, yes. Which is why it has such an insane thing to it. Like, there's a domain that I go into, and I use the tiniest bit of Hydra, tiniest bit of Cryo, and I just swirl with Kazuha, and they're dead.
Yeah, exactly. Having an Animo is very useful for that. And also, so when we first start out, you have a healer, Barbara, who I did max out as a healer, and it did mean that I never died, so that was nice. But yeah, so if you wanted to focus on a healer, Kokomi is like the best one.
I'd say so.
But if you want not just a healer, I think like easy characters to get, like Bennett and Kuki, I think they're pretty good as healers, and they also give you that damage. And if you have Alhaitham as well, Dendro Daddy, having him with Kuki, with the Electro and the Dendro synergy there, is really effective.
I'm quite unlucky when it comes to Dendro characters, because I haven't actually gotten any that I would feel like they should be leveled up to be used in a team, because I really wanted Alhaitham, didn't get him. Then I wanted Kave, and I got him just recently, but I don't really have the team to work with it now, and I don't think he would do that good of an attack. And then I literally received Tainari and what's the girl's name who's a...
Koli?
Yeah, Koli.
His adopted daughter.
Yeah. I desperately wanted Nahida, and I didn't get her, and now I don't think I have a good enough Dendro team, but I think they'll come along when I'll get a good Dendro character.
Yeah, I had Nahida, but I have not built her.
You're making massive mistake, Jen.
But I know, I'm getting there, guys. But I love her burst. It's so beautiful. The whole temple, like
build yourself a home.
It's just visually so pleasing.
So, in terms of must-haves, do you think out of all the characters, a healer is basically the one you'd really be aiming for, or...?
Not really. To be fair, I don't think you really need a healer if you have a shield, for example.
But it goes both ways. If you don't have a shield, having a healer is...
Yes. I think having either or, you don't need both. Pyro, I think having a Pyro character, even someone like Bennett, who is a healer, and the fire reacting... Obviously, it very much depends on the elements that you choose, but Pyro is one of the most damaging in terms of, like, area of effect, because fire spreads. And you can use that with Cryo and Hydro and Electro for those reactions. But yeah, I'm gonna keep saying Bennett, because he's just generally good. For a 4-star character... I recommend. Yeah, he's pretty easy to build as well.
I think Bennett's a really good one to go for.
Yeah.
100%. I'd say when I was building them, Sucrose was very much useful in my opinion, and Xingshu. I mean, I know people don't like Xingshu, but if it comes to like hydro reactions that you need during the gameplay. He was doing a really good job, especially before I got Kokomi. And he was one of my highest attacks, but that was before I got better characters, obviously.
Yeah.
But Sucrose before Kazuha, even now, I think I want to still... I mean, I took everything from Sucrose to give to Kazuha, but I might just build her again, because having Anemo in a team, any team, just makes a huge difference. And her swell reactions still do a really decent job, so...
Yeah, exactly. Definitely go for an anime, especially when you have loads of enemies. And Venta is so good because he swirls them all up into basically one big ball, and then you can use your other characters with like Electro, Pyro, and basically eliminate a whole bunch of people. You can unalive a bunch of people all at once.
And now another question I have for you, Jen, is who do you think is a Genshin character that Hoyoverse has given to us very, very generously that, is kind of useless? Is kind of pointless to own? Yeah.
Are you talking about Chi-Chi?
No, don't actually. So, guys, I know you're gonna come at Chi-Chi, but she's a character who somehow is very easily obtainable. And she was a character who, before I got any good healers, I managed to go through loads of enemies with her, because I never died. The only useless thing about her that I think is she's not that good at attacking, so even if it comes to healing and she keeps constantly doing it, passing all of that and not dying takes fucking ages.
She's shit. I don't care. There's a reason why when you lose your 50-50 you get Chi-Chi.
I don't know, I was quite happy with getting Chi-Chi, but I didn't get her that much after. I've gotten her once. So I've been, touch wood, but I've been fairly lucky so far. For me, there's a few characters that I would never want to level up, and one of them is Daya. She's
just a bit broken. Her design is so cool. She
had so much potential, and I don't think they pulled through on that.
She is mummy. She is beautiful, but I was very disappointed in her gameplay. And also, like, as a 5-star pyro character, she should have been really good.
That's one thing that I genuinely want Hoyoverse to sit down at, just to talk about, is they've built so many characters and such storylines who could be 5 stars, and they're like, no, this is a 4-star.
Are you talking about Ningguang?
I'm 100% talking about her, and there's other characters as well, and then you have some 4 stars, or some 5 stars that just, why are they 5 stars? Give me a good reason, because it doesn't make sense. Like, anyway.
Yeah. I think because they had Nouvellette, who I really wanted, and they basically thought that he was too powerful. I can't remember exactly, but they were like, they nerfed him, and then everyone started complaining, and then they brought him back, but I'm not entirely sure because I don't have him as a character.
Oh yeah, no, I saw...
But I want him.
There was a thing, like, he could just, like, spiral around, so any enemies you have, you can just spin and they will die.
Exactly.
But
that's so good.
Yeah, so they got rid of the spinning, so you can't move that fast. I think that's what happened. But I just remember, by the way, you need to log in before your rewards disappear, because we got like 1,000 primos for that.
Yeah. Honey, I know.
Because we got that, and I was like, I had to go back and check where the primos came from, because I was like, that's a lot of primos.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then you understand it. It's like, my boy. Not my boy.
Please, come back. I think that's been a fairly long discussion.
We could talk extensively, because we've only just kind of talked about how the characters are as playable, like how their gameplay is. Not anything to do with their kind of background, what their stories are and stuff like that. And that can be a whole video essay in itself. But we're not here to do that. We're here to rant and also simp on some of our favourite characters.
Zhongli.
So that is what we will be doing more of when we will be deciding who our ultimate Genshin character is.
Yes. So thank you for listening this week. We'll be sure to be back next week.
Or will we?
Hopefully.
Bye.